Hello and welcome to the next video of my LPL 2024 preview series where we're going to cover LNG, one of the best teams in the LPL from 2023. The last 3 years, in 2021 they went 18 and 14, last year in 2022 19 and 13, and then this past season went 25 and 7, getting to Worlds and dropping out in the quarterfinals, if I recall correctly. The average age of the roster going into this year is 22.8 years old. They've made a couple changes. At first, they dropped Tarzan, the jungler. He is out, and since then has not found a team. From what I understand, I think he may be even taking spring off. Now they've added in Weiwei, who was on Weibo in summer, did not have a team in spring last year, and Mark from Top Esports to play support. And we'll talk about the support position towards the end of this when we get there, because I think there is going to be some questions about who is going to play, and I'm just going to say why I think it's going to be Mark. So Zika in top lane, one of the best top laners in the world. He was in his sophomore year and he only improved. There was no slump out of him. I am curious if this upcoming season that is when we'll see that, or if at all. He played with IG in 2022 and then found safe haven with LNG. In 118 games, he had a 3.8 KDA, 8.4 CS per minute, 51.5 KP, 21.2 gold share, 474 damage per minute, 21.1 damage share. He was more solo dolo, a finesse top, going to do his own thing on the island. He's not really a big team fighter, and at this point in his career, that's fine, right? You develop the rest of the repertoire as you go along. 14 champions played. Jax, Renekton, and K'Sante accounting for 58%, very standard. Behind him, they have two top laners, 5K and the new. 5K in 85 games hit a 2.8 KDA, 7.9 CS per minute, 61.3 KP, so the opposite. So you see him giving up a little bit of CS to be more involved. He's fighting, maybe joining the jungler, maybe roaming, securing Rift Herald and things like that. 21.1 gold share, 495 damage per minute, 17 champions played. And then the new played with JDG and FPX last year in the LDL. 42 games, 2-1, KDA, 7.7 CS per minute, 53.4 KP. 20.9 gold share, 470 damage per minute. Neither one are going to pressure Zika for an opportunity. In the jungle, we have Weiwei. 23 years old. I think he is a slight downgrade from Tarzan. A lot of people don't like hearing that, but I said it in my jungle top fives. Tarzan, I think, is an excellent jungler. He was in the MVP conversation with Scout all season long, and it's going to be hard for Weiwei to match that. Does that mean Weiwei is bad? No, but I think people think it means that. It's one of those classic things. Oh, if you like pancakes, you must hate waffles. Just a true, hyperbolic opinion, or at least rebuttal. 76 games played, 4 KDA, 5.2 CS per minute, 72 KP. So more of a facilitator. And that's fine with this team because Zika is not going to play that role. And the bot side really isn't much of a weak side situation. Give Scout everything and let everybody, the jungler give up a bit of farm. 18.1 gold share, 289 damage per minute, 13.3 damage share. These numbers with Weibo. 13 champions played. Maokai, Sejuani, Wukong accounting for 46% of his games. Behind him, there's Darwin, a player that I think has been one of the better LDL junglers over the last couple of years when you take them all into account. Always performs at Nest and Demacia Cup. 85 games played, 3.1 KDA, 5.5 CS per minute, 73.6 KP. 18.9 gold share, 353 damage per minute, 16 champions played. They also have DBH, who was an 80 carry last year, now will be a substitute jungler. In the mid lane, you have Scout at 25 years old. I think I made him my summer MVP, or at least as maybe, I think I had Mako in spring and then Scout in summer. Excellent player. One of the best mids in the world, very competitive. really took a step forward this past year, returning to his form that we saw in 2021, kind of shoving it in EDG's face, if you will. 118 games played, 5.3 KDA, 8.8 CS per minute, 73 KP. So they fought around Scout, to say the least. 23% of the team's gold, which is a lot for a solo laner. 648 damage per minute, which was 28.5% of the team's damage. So a lot of damage out of the mid laner. I mean, he and Gala trading back and forth in that role. 20 champions played. Jace, Azir, Nico accounting for 45% of his matches. In the LDL, they have XYZ at 21 years old, a player that is not going to be pressuring Scout anytime soon. 85 games, 4.1 KDA, 8.1 CS per minute, 67.4 KP, 21.2 gold share, 544 damage per minute, 16 champions played, and Nayu is also not going to pressure him. Stats unavailable because he didn't play last year. I think he played in 2022. Gala, 22 years old, excellent 80 carry, best Kesa in the world, you could say. Can play other champions very well. In that, you have the upper top 5, and then you have the next, probably 5 to 8, and he's in that next group. 120 games played, 5.5 KDA, 9.9 CS per minute, 68.5 KP. Keep in mind, half of these stats are with RNG and Spring. 24.9 gold share, 632 damage per minute, resulting in 29% of his team's damage share. Like I said, RNG and Spring, and LNG in Summer. That's why Scout's, DPM is higher, but his damage share is less than Gala's. Gala played 13 champions. Zaya, Aphelios, Zeri accounting for 52%. So all these stats coming in without even Kesa being one of his most played. So he's obviously not going to be pressured anytime soon for a job. Uneasy is the backup, 20 years old, 53 games played, 4.8 KDA, 9.5 CS per minute, 77.8 KP. So the LPL team fighting, the LDL team fighting around their 80 carry for sure. 26%, actually 26.4% of his team's gold. So 1v9 angle out of Uneasy. 653 damage per minute, 14 champions played. When he didn't play, Healer did, and you could see that there was a drop-off in 17 games. His KDA was good at 4.1, but 9 CS per minute, 66% KP, under 24% of the team's gold, and 479 damage per minute. So giving up 180 DPM, giving up a lot of gold, a totally different vibe between the two LDL 80 carries. He played 6 champions. And then we get to support. So I'm listing Mark as the starter. I think it's obviously him and Hung are going to battle for this position. It is not for certain going to be one way or the other. But the reason why I said Mark is because if I recall, he and Gala have played together in the past. There's probably something to be said about him joining LNG now. There could be something to be said about how Hung performed last year. I thought he was fine given his age and in the moments he had to play in. Didn't look out of place in my opinion, but at the same time, they probably want more stability. Mark has been to international events. He's played with Gala, and he's been with the new coach Crescent, in the past as well. In 103 games, had a 4.3 KDA, 75.5 KP with Top Esports last year. 154 damage per minute, played 16 champions. Nautilus, Nami, Lulu, accounting for just under half of his games. So a lot of Lucian, Nami in the bot lane. You're not going to see a lot of supports with that because it was only prevalent for Spring. But at the same time, it kind of goes to show you how many different angles Top Esports used in the bot lane in Summer for Nami still to be his second most played. Hung, 118 games played with LNG, 20 years old, 3.9 KDA, 70.7 KP, 158 damage per minute, 18 champions played. This is not to say he is bad. I think it's just a matter of Gala getting the preferred support and some comfort. My son, the LDL support, 83 games, 3.4 KDA, 79% KP. Very, very active. One of the better supports in the LDL. somebody that does deserve an opportunity at the highest level. 138 damage per minute, 14 champions played. And then lastly, the coach is Crescent. Like I said, he had been with Top Esports for quite a while. 129, 102, and 7 in best of threes in the LPL over his career. 61 and 45 in individual games in playoffs and regional finals, and then 12 and 9 overall at international events. This team is going to be a team that we're going to be talking about all year long. They're going to be very competitive at the top of the standings. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.